Hi, welcome back to Tape Time with Tom. My name is Chris. And good news, everyone! Last thrift store haul, we had an unfortunate announcement that my local thrift store was no longer accepting VHS tapes. Since then, I had given my name and my number, and with a little bit of luck, we found out that they were able to get me the boxes before they tossed them into the dumpster. And boy, was I happy about what I had found so far. Today, we're going to go over one of my first boxes. The first day they got back to me, I got 4 boxes, well over 100 tapes. Today we're only going to be doing this amount, whatever that number is. I haven't counted yet. Well, I'm going to get started with tapes that I already have in my collection, then move on to the tapes that are new additions, and then we have some other additional things at the very end. Let's go ahead and get started. So, okay. For this first stack of VHS tapes, you will see one of these as one we got last time, actually. So first up is going to be Star Trek: The Undiscovered Country. This is number 6 with the original cast. So this is cool. And again, I already have this in my collection. I'm not dying to discuss this further. Next up is going to be Oscar winner for Best Picture and many other things, Terms of Endearment. Like I said, I already have this in my collection. I still have yet to see this movie, even though my parents had a copy for a long time. But I'm looking forward to watching it no matter what. Next up is going to be another Oscar winner for Best Picture, the hit movie Dances with Wolves. I know a lot of people kind of like rag on this movie just a little bit because it's a little bit long. It's just kind of Pocahontas. You know, little issues that kind of like that. I had a good time when I watched this when I was a kid. I'm looking forward to revisiting this in the future. I'll give it a recommend. I think it's a good movie. I hope you guys check it out if you haven't seen it already. The next up, another underrated gem starring the great Dolly Parton, The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. And I have a special affinity for this movie because of The Simpsons. I grew up watching The Simpsons, and I had no idea what this reference is for. Finally saw this movie, realized where it was from. Now I just have a greater appreciation for both of these items. But yeah. Highly recommend The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. Next up is going to be Ron Howard's Backdraft firefighter movie, starring a whole bunch of people: Kurt Russell, Billy Baldwin, Scott Glenn, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Rebecca De Mornay, Donald Sutherland, and Robert De Niro, which I had no idea he was in this movie. That's awesome. Yeah, I need to watch this. I know this was on my list for a while because it looked cool, and I went through a phase for watching like firefighter movies. Still have yet to see this. But I'm looking forward to it though. Next up is going to be the controversial, yet some would argue modern day classic, American History Asks. I've only seen bits and pieces of this movie. I've seen the basketball scene. I know that's laughed at a whole bunch. I look forward to watching this again in its fullest sometime in the future. That'll be fun. Next up is going to be Air Force One, starring Harrison Ford. Glenn Close is in this, which I had completely forgotten, as well as The Man of a Thousand Faces, Gary Oldman. Again, this is yet one of those other movies that my dad had seen on television a whole lot. I've never seen it in its entirety, but I've seen the ending where he says, "Get off my plane." I'm looking forward to watching this for the first time at some point in the future, and finally understand all the Air Force One memes that are out there. Yet another Harrison Ford classic is going to be Presumed Innocent. And again, I already have this in my collection, but this one is another one that looks cool. I like finding all these Harrison Ford movies that are in between his big main franchise kind of starring roles of like Han Solo, Indiana Jones, Blade Runner, so on and so forth. So this one, I have to imagine, is going to be a lot of fun to watch. So this is going to be the highlight of this box, and I already have the movie, but I'm happy about finding it again. It's going to be The Shining. And my copy of The Shining, for whatever reason, does not have this awesome slipcase. The Shining is a fantastic film. If you guys have not seen it, please watch it. And if you can, watch it on VHS. It's a heck of a lot of fun. So, okay. We have The Godfather, the first one, 2-tape box set. This is just going to be the standard 4:3 kind of full screen version of it. I do have, for the first Godfather at least, the widescreen version. But yeah, I got to see this in theaters last year. It was amazing. Highly recommend it. If you find it on VHS, that's great. If not, go see it in theaters. Again, Gladiator, another hit movie, Oscar winner. A lot of these are Oscar winners. Yeah, man, if you haven't seen Gladiator, go watch it. This movie's amazing. This doesn't need to be explained. I don't know. I feel foolish trying to pitch people in Gladiator. Again, another movie that everyone has seen, Fight Club. This one sounds like it's might have been crushed a little bit, so I might have to do some surgery at some point. But again, I already have a copy of this. I probably actually have 2 or 3 copies of this. But yeah, Fight Club's amazing. If you guys haven't seen it, gotta go watch it. The Perfect Storm, Marky Mark in this movie, and the hit actor George Clooney. It's funny, it comes with a little Princess Cruise pamphlet. I don't know how many people would want to go onto a cruise line after watching The Perfect Storm. If you are, you're lucky and brave. Looking forward to watching this for the first time. All right, the hit movie, An Officer and a Gentleman. Cue the Simpsons joke about him doing all those push-ups.
Hey, Richard, in An Officer and a Gentleman, did you really do all those sit-ups?
I wish. I did one, and they just showed it 1,000 times.
But yeah, have not seen this, only know this movie via The Simpsons, unfortunately. Kind of like the best little whorehouse in Texas. I would love to have a greater appreciation for this movie via The Simpsons. Next up is going to be Notting Hill, the hit movie starring Julia Roberts and Hugh Grant. And I know very little about this movie, but I have heard that it's a lot of fun, and that's enough for me to watch this. And last but not least, just in time for Christmas, is going to be How the Grinch Stole Christmas. From, this is the one with Boris Karloff from 1966. I already have a copy of this. I actually have the copy of this that has Horton Hears a Who at the very end of it. Can't go wrong with the Grinch. It's always fun. So we have a couple of clamshells for the movies that I've already seen. And speaking of the Grinch, we have Jim Carrey's The Grinch, which is a modern day classic, also from Ron Howard. This is kind of like a weird Kinder Trauma kind of movie. It's weird. It's one that I always end up watching every year anyway, because it's just a classic. If you guys haven't seen it, again, like I said before, gotta go watch it. The hit movie, up next, Stuart Little, about the mouse who gets adopted in front of those other kids. What I can't believe about this movie is the fact that this was written by M. Night Shyamalan, if you guys did not know this. So I can't wait to watch this movie through the guise of that lens. So I'm looking forward to watching this again with adult eyes. Another all-time classic that I unfortunately have not seen is going to be The Never-Ending Story, from also Wolfgang Peterson, just like The Perfect Storm. Yeah, I feel bad for not watching this, and we kind of talk about this in an upcoming episode with my boy Steve, where we talk about fantasy movies, and you'll find out that in a second. Looking forward to watching one of these days. And last but not least, for the movies that I already have in my collection is going to be Casper, which is, again, an all-time classic. A heck of a lot of fun. Guys gotta watch it. It has got some really cool cameos from Ghostbusters and other fun people. Pretty sure Clint Eastwood makes an appearance at some point. Alrighty, so that's all the movies from this first box for the thrift store haul that I already had in my collection. So now let's kind of move these out of the way and make room for all the movies that I did not have previously. Alright, sticking with the clamshells for movies that I do not have previously to this acquisition is going to be The Muppet Classic Theater from, I don't know when this year was. It's only 68 minutes long. 1994. I've never really been too big into Muppets for whatever reason. I grew up watching Sesame Street, but for whatever reason we never got around to watching the Muppets. Like, I've seen the Christmas Carol and everything, but that's really only after the fact. I did grow up watching the Treasure Island one. But yeah, I don't know anything about the Classic Theater. It looks cool. I think it's like it has 6 tales. 3 Little Pigs, King Midas, The Boy Who Cried Wolf, Rumpelstiltskin, The Elves and the Shoemaker, and The Emperor's New Clothes. I don't know, looks like fun. Good for kids. Be fun to watch that for tape time with Tom. Up next is going to be The Land Before Time 2. The Great Valley Adventure. I feel like all these animated dinosaur movies are kind of ruined now after watching Primal. Cue the zombie episode, which I finally watched for the first time. Jeez Louise. Again, this is yet again one of those other movies where I grew up watching these, but I never had a strong affiliation to them with nostalgia to rewatch these. So it'd be fun to continue this collection. It'd be fun to try to find as many of these as possible that are on VHS. Up next is going to be Disney's Sounder, a movie that I have never heard of, but it's got some actors that I do appreciate. I don't know much about this. It looks cool, looks fun. Looking forward to watching this. All right, next up is going to be Shirley Temple's Curly Top. Apparently it has horses. A musical version of Daddy Longlegs, which sounds kind of weird. Never been into horse movies or Shirley Temple, but it'll be fun to watch this. Next up is going to be Care Bear Bedtime Stories. And this has like, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, kind of like that the Muppet one where it has like 6 miscellaneous stories. I missed the Care Bear generation. Never seen any of it, so I have no idea what to rate this, if at all, whenever I watch this. Up next is going to be What's New Scooby-Doo Space Ape at the Cape. That's hard to say. Space Ape at the Cape. Yeah, this has a couple of episodes. There's No Creature Like Snow Creature, Space Ape at the Cape, 3D Structure, and Big Scare in the Big Easy. So this is not a movie. This is a compilation of 4 different Scooby-Doo, What's New Scooby-Doo episodes. I probably watched these when they aired, so it'd be fun to rewatch these now that I'm older. Up next is going to be James and the Giant Peach from the hit director Henry Selick, who is now getting a whole lot of reclaim for his new Netflix movie. I have not seen this in probably 2 decades, more than 2 decades, who could say? I know, this is one of those produced by Tim Burton, directed by Henry Selick, but everyone thinks it's Tim Burton, so I'd like to watch this again now that I am older. And last but not least, for the clamshells, is going to be a movie that I've never heard of, and it looks kind of lewd, and I don't even know what the plot is, but it's called The Pirate Movie. This seems like the kind of movie that would be like Airplane or something, but I don't think it is. It'd be cool if it was. Christy Michael and Christopher Atkins in The Pirate Movie, directed by Ken Anakin, I guess. Never heard of this. If you've seen this movie, please let me know what it's like. I might have to watch this for the channel. Alrighty, more movies that I don't have in my collection. We're gonna try to go quick. Imitation of Life, directed by Douglas Sirk. So this will be kind of fun to watch. I've never seen any Douglas Sirk, but I'm looking forward to. Jim Carrey's Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, a movie that is a cult classic, and yet again, another movie that I've never seen. For all the movies that I've seen in the world, it's amazing how many that I've not seen. I guess that kind of goes for everyone. Early Jim Carrey just kind of missed the mark for me. I never got around to watching them, so it would be fun to revisit these now that I'm older. I feel like I'm not gonna have as much of a good time, but that's okay. You know, it is what it is. Driving Miss Daisy, a movie that I thought I had, but I did not have. It'd be fun to revisit this, however many years it's on. This is from 90, wow, geez Louise. Or 89 or 90. It'd be fun to revisit this and see if it actually is as bad as everyone thinks it is. I have to imagine a lot of people who rag on this movie have not seen this within the past 5 years. So that'd be kind of fun to revisit. Up next is going to be An Affair to Remember, starring Cary Grant and Deborah Kerr. And this is directed by Leo McCarey. Again, another movie I've never heard of, but I'm a fan of Cary Grant, so it'll be fun to watch this. Up next is going to be Kennedy, starring Martin Sheen, and directed by, I have no idea who. My God, this is a long movie, 278 minutes? Jeez Louise. All right, seems like a television show. Never heard of this. Next is going to be East of Eden, James Dean, and I might have a version of this, but it's not the one with James Dean. Looking forward to watching this. I know I kind of want to read the book first. This is John Steinbeck. But yeah. Up next is going to be a movie called Picnic. Again, a movie that I've never heard of. This is directed by Joshua Logan. I don't know, looks kind of cool. It's got a whole lot of text on the back. Might have to read that one of these days. William Holden, I'm a big fan of him. We'll revisit Picnic one of these days. It is kind of cool. I do like how it is. It says it's letterbox format, so it's one of those, an early widescreen version of a movies on VHS. That's kind of cool. And the comedy classic City Slickers, starring Billy Crystal, and Oscar winner for someone's an Oscar winner in this movie. Jack Palance, which I've heard is a weird win, but you know it is what it is. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to watching this. All right. Okay, more tapes. The hit movie Life, starring Eddie Murphy and Martin Sheen and Bernie Mac, the late great actor. And I don't know, I've never frankly really heard of this movie, but knowing those 3 actors are in this, I'm looking forward to watching it. Yeah, FBI Story, starring James Stewart. This played at the New Beverly Cinema in Los Angeles. I did not get a chance to see it there, but I had a hankering to watch since it was announced, and I have the perfect double feature for it. A movie called British Intelligence. I'm pretty sure that's starring Boris Karloff. Yeah, so I was genuinely happy for finding this on VHS. Up next is going to be Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, starring Elizabeth Taylor and Paul Newman. A movie that I have not seen, at least I don't think I've seen, but I'm pretty sure I've read the play. in which it is based on, by Tennessee Williams. All the way from Cattle on Hudson Riff all the way down to Dumb and Dumber, starring, again, another Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels, a movie that I, again, missed the mark when I was younger. I'm sure I would have loved it when I was younger, but yeah, I have a feeling I'm not gonna like it watching it for the first time now, but who could say? Maybe it's gonna be an all-time classic. Next is gonna be Kindergarten Cop, starring the Terminator. Yeah. This looks fun. I'm pretty sure this is the one for with the it's not a tumor, and so on and so forth. All right, so Winnie the Pooh's The Huffalump movie, a movie that I have probably heard of, but I don't recall anything about. So that'll be kind of fun to watch. And lastly, for the actual movies for this collection is going to be Rob Schneider as the Deuce Bigelow, male gigolo. I remember hearing when this movie came out, and it was one of those movies that seemed weird, and probably I wasn't allowed to watch it. But now I'm old, I'm an adult, I could drive and rent a truck. I feel like I'm allowed to watch this movie. So who knows, maybe I'll watch this for the channel. All right, well that's all the VHS tapes of like the actual movies from this collection. Okay, there were a handful of movies kind of VHS tapes in this collection. One of them is going to be Type-O Workout Instructional for Men and Women. Get fit, lose weight, have fun, be strong. Featured in Esquire, People, Allure, Cosmopolitan, and Good Morning America from Billy Blanks, whoever that is. 7-time world martial arts champion. Yeah, I've never done Type-O. This might be fun to kind of work out too. Next is going to be Chuck Norris Private Lesson, the Lean and Mean Workout. And it's just another one of those workout celebrity VHS tapes where he kind of shows people how to, I don't know, fight or something, who could say. Next up is going to be Yoga for Beginners. Look at that, Yoga for Beginners. And there's so many of these yoga movies, yoga VHS tapes. I'm amazed that I haven't gotten this one already. I don't know. I need to do more yoga, so this might be useful for me. And last but not least is going to be Special K Presents Kathy Smith 20-minute yoga for beginners. Stretch and relaxation routine. I didn't really eat Kellogg's Special K, but I do need to do yoga. So you will most likely find this on the YouTube channel at some point in the future. Well, that's everything from my local thrift store for VHS tapes. I do have a couple of extra things that I acquired. So last month we went over to the Mahoning Drive-In Theater in Latin, Pennsylvania, and we had a wonderful screening of Bigfoot and Harry and the Hendersons. Harry and the Hendersons is an all-time classic for me. Bigfoot is a new addition for me. But they have this fantastic wall of VHS tape. But I was able to grab 3 things that I did not have in my collection, including the Ang Lee classic Ride with the Devil, a movie that I highly recommend for other people. This is underrated, underseen. It's got a fantastic cast. It's weirdly deliberate in focus of telling this of the American Civil War. And it's really cool. I got to see this probably a decade ago when I was first started getting into Criterion collection and everything. And they have this on Blu-ray. So if you can't find this on VHS tape, I do recommend finding that on Blu-ray because it's a really cool movie. Up next is going to be my all-time favorite M. Night Shyamalan movie, Unbreakable, starring Samuel Jackson and Bruce Willis. This is just an all-time amazing movie. If you guys haven't seen Unbreakable, you most likely have seen his follow-up Split, and I'm pretty sure Glass. I haven't seen Glass. I've seen Split. Split was cool, but you can't hold a candle to Unbreakable. This movie is just fantastic. And lastly, 21 Grams from Alejandro Inarritu. This movie is probably my least favorite out of his filmography. I'm a big fan of Birdman, Babel, The Revenant. Beautiful is amazing also. Amoris Porus is fantastic. A lot of his movies are really good. I still really enjoy it, but I like it less than all those other ones. But I'm looking forward to revisiting this. This has a fantastic cast. Sean Penn, Benicio del Toro, Naomi Watts. I'm pretty sure all 3 of them got nominated for this movie. If you guys have seen 21 Grams, I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys think of it, because I would love to revisit this one of these days. It's one of those kaleidoscopic mosaic kind of movies where we kind of go back and forth in time between a whole lot of characters. But yeah, well that's that. That's everything. I have nothing else to talk about right now. You guys will see more VHS tapes in the future. we'll see all these other boxes, and we'll lead up to my all-time favorite acquisition thus far. Please let me know which of these VHS tapes is your favorite, which one you want me to watch first, if I get around to it, hopefully soon. And please let me know, I don't know, if there's any VHS tapes you really want me to try to find one of these days, and I'll do my best to watch them and bring them on for the channel. Thank you for joining us. This is a Tape Time with Tom, Thrift Store Haul. With all that being said, always rewind, but more importantly, be kind. All right, see you guys later.